Hey everyone, it's Devon! Devon
And
Francis, also known as Leonard Monster.
I'm all wobbly.
And we're closer to the wall than we normally are, because it's just a super quick intro that we're filming
You
like
don't want to get chairs and
a month
stuff.
after the fact. Episode 115, Adventures in Odyssey Oddcast. What are we doing today?
We're doing the 4th animated movie review.
Yeah, it's exciting. Finally, we're doing another movie review. It's great. And let's make this awkward, poorly filmed segment short and turn you over to that right now. Wow, this is way on the outskirts of Odyssey. Is this Mrs. Harcourt's house?
I hope not.
Because she should be next door to Wits End, so that doesn't make sense. Just to be clear.
I bet this is a new person.
They're normally very high on continuity here.
Oh my gosh! Do you think
It's
these
what-
are
it's
the
like a good
thieves
neighbor.
from the first one?
It's State Farm for breaking in.
Is
Oh,
that
I
Wit?
remember now.
That looks like
I remember
Wit.
the
Wait, is there a fake
summary.
Wit in this episode?
I'm not saying what it is.
That's totally a fake Wit. It looks like Wit.
This is Wit's brother, James Avery Whittaker.
The one that's like Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. I assume you mean Benjamin Franklin. Maybe that's it. Is Benjamin Franklin from the day independence came?
I was actually talking about Abraham. Or not Abraham
'cause he was
Lincoln, I
played
meant
by-
Thomas Jefferson.
Ah, yeah, I know. No, remember?
I
Because he was
ruined my
like,
joke.
poor fellow.
Look, it's a sailor! This is... Oh. Oh, that was very sinister music. This guy's the worst thief ever. He's like waving his flashlight around,
all over out the
letting
windows.
everyone know where he
The
is.
big bay windows.
At least he's being pretty quiet. I mean, his backup music's pretty loud.
Apparently he knew
but-
the safe combination. He definitely didn't crack that. Oh
What?
my goodness.
Holy crap!
Whose house is this again? Is this Wit's house? Is Wit
Oh,
breaking
man.
into his own house?
Well, Wit does do that when he forgets his keys.
That's true.
That's
It's
his best
Jason and Monty
intentions.
have done it enough times.
Yeah.
Sorry about the window, Dad.
Except for it's always on the way home from the hospital.
That's true. Which Wit always is.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Whoa, did you hear that scream?
Oh, that was crazy. Oh, man,
Apparently he also stabbed her in the jugular at the same time.
it was cut, because that'd be too gory for the kiddies.
Yeah. Okay, so I sort of know what's going on here, just a teeny bit. So what are your predictions about what's actually going on
That's gonna be like a look-like guy who looks like Wit. It's gonna be like one of those classic tropes where it's the criminal who looks like a character, and then the other character gets framed.
here? And he's
or
like, no, I
whatever.
was just stealing my adopted son.
And then it never gets
Callback.
resolved.
Throwback.
So many callbacks so far in this episode. We're only like 2 minutes in.
I love how these are written, produced, and directed by people who have no connection to the regular team whatsoever.
You're knocking things over in your rage. Gene's talking.
Over $10,000 last night. How does he do it?
Did you see the size of that diamond? That,
That
was
was
worth
worth more.
way more than 10,000.
I suppose. What's the envelope for? Oh,
His
Oh, it's
lips
Tom's.
don't
It's
match.
Tom's will.
the hospital. Of course, we still need to raise a lot more money.
I don't know if it's
So
the
I'll
audio
just
the way you recorded
keep my
it,
night job.
but like the lip flaps don't match up at all with the audio.
Just
Yeah.
leaving you to hear?
It's really bad.
Of course.
Probably
Think of
just
that.
the animation.
Speaking of children, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Kids explode.
Dylan's so predictable and cliche.
Dylan's a
I can
robot.
actually track when he comes.
Dylan's a
every day.
robot. That's
It
the plot
explains so
twist.
much.
Wit built Dylan Taylor.
That's why he permits him to be around Sherman.
Yeah.
That's why Sherman can't kill Dylan because he's a robot. He can't
That's
fight
for the
through
first all of
his
Roto.
robot skin.
You fellas take it back to the workshop. I'll be with you in a minute.
So did you hear Wit after talking about the cat burglary roulette, which like, oh, we're raising money for the hospital, but we still need a lot more money. It's like Suspicious Minds. It's like he needs to buy the car. Wit was stealing the money. And now he's defacing newspapers.
What a criminal.
Look at that face.
Oh, he's so shifty. Did you see, like, that pocket was not big enough to hold that piece of paper. It, like, suctioned it in.
This is TARDIS jacket.
And this is the part in the episode where they cut things to make it seem suspicious,
Yeah.
the same way they did with Wellington and
Is this
Wheaton.
Wit's office? I like it's a security cam, in case you were confused. Oh, sure, now you need a glass to crack a safe.
Maybe he was just given.
That's the weirdest looking
combination
flashlight
before.
I've ever seen.
What's a cup? Oh, you mean that?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't on the flashlight.
Was it? There was
That
two
did-
doors.
That guy's so sinister.
He's gonna shoot it.
Oh my gosh. I love his expressions. He's so evil.
Great, Mr. Whitaker. How'd you
It should just say camera cam.
Yeah.
Experience with cameras. Well,
This is
somebody
so
might be
suspicious,
very-
Victoria.
It makes me have a suspicious mind. Ah!
Investigator Stark, the
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
This guy looks like.
This is my
What's
assistant,
his
Blake.
name? Who voices Kronk?
Patrick Warburton.
He looks like a cartoon. Of
That is a
Patrick
very
Warburton.
triangular head.
That guy's head looks like a deflated balloon.
He's got good old Dorito torso. It's like Chris Evans right there.
It's time to
Swole
come
goals.
clean.
I like how they're like, cover all the exits. I'm like, do you know how many secret exits and tunnels there are to
In the
Woods?
big house.
What is this? Some kind of a joke?
A joke?
What is it? Some
It's a
kind
joke
of
because Wit has way
Suicide
more.
Squad.
Wit has way more
Ah,
government.
What for?
Mr. Whitaker, I'm afraid what
Whit owns the police in this town.
Trying to say is the police are coming to
He looks at the policeman. He's like, "I own you.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me. I
What's like the
own
Wilson
you."
Fisk of this town?
A cat burglar?
Where?
I'd never steal cats. I'm a dog person.
Right.
It's true. Look
And
at
Sherman
Sherman.
comes in and bites off one of the policeman's legs.
Yeah.
So do you think Hal
You call
plays
You are downtown.
the other evil wit? Or do you
Hopefully.
think they're gonna get someone else to play
Got
him?
Andre Stoica.
All this has to happen in front of the boy.
Found in the garden.
Oh,
Watching something?
Eugene.
I'd say your timing was perfect.
Eugene's face is like.
This is the police
Did you
station.
see?
You're free to leave now. Now, thanks.
Walter, am I glad to see you?
Well, I.
All these characters we know and love.
I am gonna have to arrest you.
This
Wait.
guy looks like he's about to keel over,
Yeah.
which says a lot given he's standing next to
All
Wit.
their faces are shaped so strangely. Whoa, that was horrifying.
Are they like doing the Princess Diary wave to Dylan?
Thank you for being here today.
I like how this is like Heroes. He's like, man, I can't believe Wit was like blood doping this whole time.
Do you think he's like gonna burn Wit out of the photo or just tear it off?
Yeah.
Be like, everything I knew was a
I mean,
lie.
it's like-
So, Mr.
Whit
Whitaker
has-
managed to fix this thing, huh?
Wit makes more money in a day than the worth of all of those jewels.
The way the two of you become such good friends. These
My
days,
only
it's tough to
friend
find
is a
someone who's defiant no matter
87-year-old
what.
man. My life
They
is
say these things.
Yeah.
horrible.
I mean, unless they're true.
How could they say things that are...
I saw it in the
False.
newspaper, so it must be
Yeah.
true.
The news doesn't lie.
The thing was, he'd never done that before.
I saw it on
Next thing
CNN,
you know,
so
he was expelled
has
from
to be
school.
true.
Why?
It seems that someone had stolen the answers to the test, and the teacher figured the kid must have taken them and cheated.
They're totally not talking
But it
about
was
me.
me.
Everyone except one person.
You believed him?
No, son.
I stole
the
the
kid that got
answers.
expelled was me.
Oh, dang, it was.
I flunked out of school.
Never been
I
so-
lost my job.
so embarrassed or
I
felt
ended
so
up like
alone.
with this dead-end marriage and these awful kids.
You know
And
what hurt most?
I accidentally knocked
It
up
was
your
the
mom,
people
so I had to
who
marry
lost
her.
friends.
And now I'm stuck with you. You're not even in the real series.
Well, thank the Lord they actually caught the guy who
This is
stole
basically the
those
story of
answers
Rick and
when
Morty.
I was back in school.
oh,
My
wow.
body isn't supposed to
He's like
stretch this
fully
way.
in jail without a trial.
Hi, Mr. Whitaker.
Well, hello, Dylan.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, we're so
Glad to see
creative.
You,
How are you doing?
as well as can be expected, I suppose.
I run the joint. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you
You go
expect?
first.
I don't know how to say this.
I've
Dylan,
got
but
people all over me.
you're
They're giving me
smart.
cigs. They're giving me girls. They're giving me whatever I want.
I've been in
I own this place.
I own the guards. I own the inmates.
I own their souls.
Who lives, who dies.
who tells their story. No one he's heard about after
You want
they
to see
get
that
up in
guy get
this joint.
shanked? Boom.
I'm in charge.
No way you could have done this.
Whoa, crazy animation here. I like how the
Uh-huh.
bars all kept shifting relative to each other.
Everything should be.
Somehow the bars look like they're in the background, and then everything was put in the cells in front of it, and
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
You'll never leave us or forsake us.
That's a big cell.
He owns the joint. What do you expect?
Touche.
He needs his space.
Touche.
Here's a file, by the way. I put it in your pocket while we hugged.
Yeah. Whoa, this just became night. Like,
You know that Mr.
He
You got
owns
darkness.
the joint. He
God.
can will it.
God passed the darkness. over
Actually,
the
it was
land.
just people. He's like, I want it to be nighttime. They held a sheet up
Yeah, they
outside
blot out the
window.
sun.
And he's like, now hold it there for the rest of the day.
Burglar, the only answer.
I thought Eugene was in jail, too.
A thief is walking around with the face
Do you think
of
Eugene
John
snuck out?
Henry Whitaker.
Like
What?
they thought you.
Right.
I thought Eugene was in jail. Do you think he was like a giant hairball on the ground or something like that?
Yeah,
They
he
just,
got
like,
taken out with
They
the garbage.
swept him out.
He didn't sneak out in the garbage. They put him in the garbage.
On the policeman. The policeman is
creepy.
wit. Oh man. Wow, that's racist. Okay.
That's it's not wit.
It looks just like Wit.
Who had a wit mask made?
It's like when they were trying to find the second wit.
Yeah,
And
this
they're
is-
like, he looks like
this-
Wit, but he doesn't sound like Wit.
This is exactly what it was like.
This is
We
like
had all these
predicting the
Wit
future
sightings,
because
yeah.
it didn't come out before then.
Oh boy, I wonder if this person I just crashed into is.
Oh, he's too British to
sorry,
be
sir.
Wit.
I should have been looking where I was going.
Yeah, wit's Scottish. That would never fly.
He's Cockney.
Not exactly.
She do making a movie. It sounds
Wait,
like
wait,
it sounds
Michael,
like James's impersonation of Gavin, like play it back in slow motion. Oh, he is Scottish.
No.
Oh,
In fact, I've got a stack of
Never mind.
He's definitely not Scottish.
that's why I was confused. They said,
Scotland Yard.
yeah, I know. I didn't. I'm tired.
Apparently.
Can I see him?
Cut that.
I bet we can spot him right away.
Well, I don't know.
I've got to find somewhere.
This guy's got nothing on the Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
Basil something. I
Basil
can't-
Fawlty.
Basil Fawlty.
Basil!
Phineas. Inspector Phineas.
That's not how you shake someone's hand. Okay, this is what he's doing. He's going like this. That's not how you shake someone's hand.
He's British, you know, it's weird over there.
Oh, it's like British handshakes, like secret handshakes.
Yeah, it's like the weird British hand, that's how you know you're rude.
Oh,
The Queen's Crumpets!
oh,
Tea.
everyone's gonna hate us.
Turning
Oh
into
yeah,
Achievement
that sounds
Hunter.
like a good idea.
Yeah, go to
into this stranger's house.
Boy, look at all these
Wow.
costumes that you have. You definitely are as expected.
Oh man.
That key did not go into
Oh,
the
man.
keyhole. That went in beside
We were
the
looking
keyhole.
for was wearing a design.
This guy's so
You
shifty.
know, like a mask.
It was the British the whole time. I
The
like how
British
this
are coming.
American
Dylan, the British are
cartoon
coming. The British are
makes
coming.
the British ones the villains.
You decapitated Mr. Whitaker!
Ah!
And plucked out his eyeballs.
What a monster. He also scraped out the insides.
I would expect no less from Dylan Taylor.
It's a skin and hair mask, Devon.
Oh, yeah, it's like Hannibal.
Yeah. That's not what Hannibal does.
Whatever.
That's Buffalo Bill. That's in
Oh.
Silence of the Lambs. He makes a skin suit out of woman, so he can become a woman.
The rope does not look tied to the chair.
It's not tied to the chair. Those are just two strands sticking out. Dylan's just incompetent. He hasn't been plugged in a while, so his robot parts are shutting down.
Yeah.
Because all burglars take cups and they deposit them.
Yeah.
It's just the thing they do.
They come and it's like the safe and there's just like a whole bunch of cutlery laying all over the ground.
They don't want to do their own dishes, so they just pawn it off on you.
Yeah.
So you have to do their chores. Wouldn't it be more reasonable to pretend to be someone who isn't?
Yeah, why
an
don't you
upright
get like
citizen?
a Bart Rathbone mask?
Yeah, if you pretended to be like someone people didn't like,
Literally
they'd be more likely
anyone
to believe
else
you
in
than
town.
Whit. Except for, what do we know? They stuck Whit in jail right away without like anything.
Without a shred of evidence.
They didn't even stick him in clothing. They put him in like
Yeah, I
a
know. He was
suit.
like in a jumpsuit.
They gave him a number. Oh,
Sherman
Sherman's gonna
is-
kill you.
Also, here.
He
there's a-
can't kill the actual
Yeah,
Whit,
fortunately-
so he's destroying the mask.
Fortunately, Sherman is well trained anytime he sees Whit's face to try and violently attack it with his teeth.
He's like, I'm never allowed to do this with the real one, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
That's why do you think he gave Sherman
get out
away?
now.
Actually, they weren't begonias. They were Euphorbia pulchera, a species indigenous
That's you.
to
It's your nerd.
What was the question?
Thanks, Victoria.
You're
Who's
welcome.
gone? He's my character witness.
Gee, if only Connie existed.
I found the diamonds.
Eugene's in so many court episodes, though. He's in
It's
more
true.
than she is.
Sherman doesn't even know there's a mask. He just likes to destroy effigies of Whit.
He just likes to destroy everything. I'm Whit now. Everyone
Here's-
sees Sherman running
Whoa,
around,
do you see that
and they're
smooth
like,
transition?
No, people are gonna see like Sherman in this house, and they're gonna be like, "Whit's assaulting a man while
This
he's
is-
in this place at the same time."
Whit has a terrible lawyer who isn't saying, you know, this guy is maybe badgering the witnesses a little bit. A little bit.
The only thing the lawyer does is facepalm while Whit fails. He's no help whatsoever.
That you actually keep clippings of the cat burglar's exploits.
I clipped that out because there's an article on the other side about the children's hospital. I wanted to keep the article to...
Wouldn't it be a different shape? So like it cuts through
Probably.
half of one of them and not
Probably.
perfectly both.
Probably. So this happened somehow. They
Do you
both
really
fell down and then
expect
Dylan
me
physically
to
bested.
think that... Okay, Sherman's been there the whole time. Who untied Dylan?
I think the ropes came off when he got knocked over because they weren't actually tied.
Okay, I was gonna say there's no way he could tie a knot good enough to keep him tied up.
This actually isn't even rope, it's just like slick
Yeah, this guy
oily
kind of
cords.
looks
You
like
can't tie
an
knots.
evil, more wrinkly, British, black-haired Bernard.
He
Doesn't he?
looks like Jasper from 101 Dalmatians.
If you crossed him with Bernard. Why are you yelling at them?
Okay, Defender Jekyll. Hide,
That's
hide,
an
I mean, hide.
insult to hide.
Well, this is your last chance to clear yourself.
We may recall that in
What
canon,
happened to my pen? You didn't
I think it
swipe
said
at my
pants
name's
for a
picture?
sec. I was thinking, like, you're the worst lawyer ever.
Did. Would the defendant care to make a final statement?
Whit's lawyer is like the best lawyer in the county,
I
according
would,
to like
Your
victim
Honor.
of circumstance and stuff.
Most of you have known me for
Yeah,
many
but that was
years.
after this.
You've seen my life, my work, and hopefully
Yeah,
my
it was
faith.
after this episode. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
not a
You
lawyer.
know that I've always tried to enrich the community with the
they
ideals
crying?
and the God-given principles
Well,
that
they
I
will.
believe in.
He's only said like 5 words. He's just like, everyone, and they're crying in fear because they're like, we don't want to mess with this guy.
Well, he's always been faithful to me.
Also, I own all the property in this town. I can
Yes.
do
I
whatever
will
I
destroy
want.
you.
I paid
I
a
own the court
dollar
system.
for everything.
The jury will now recess until they have
Do you
reached
think
a
Whit-
The
like-
jewelry is gonna recess?
They're right there.
I love those signs that just say dead end on the sides of buildings. Not so, not a street sign that has like a no enter marking on it, but it just says dead end with an arrow.
They're very typical.
Also, that Dylan can lift a manhole cover.
With his head.
Yeah,
Not even with
those
his
things
hand.
weigh like hundreds of pounds.
You need to use machines to lift those things.
You lift them with people, but they're very heavy.
I mean, lots of the time you see machines lifting them.
This is how sewers work, in case you're wondering. You remember this scene in One More Name Part 2?
I was gonna say, you remember this scene in Finding Nemo?
Yeah.
We're going to the
All sewers-
ocean. We're all sewers
drains-
leave. We're going to Sydney, Australia.
Be sure referred to Wallaby Way, Sydney, because all drains lead to the Odyssey courthouse, apparently.
What
And
is
Flushed
happening?
Away 2 looks great.
Oh, man. What's the name of the
Wow,
lady
he is
who...
dead.
Kate Beckinsale? Is that the lady? No, what's the name of the lady,
Who?
like, in Titanic?
I don't know. Hey, it's Odyssey Community Church.
She's the girl in
He's double
Flushed
dead.
Away.
Ah. He's dead again. We need to do like a Home Alone injury thing here. How many times has this guy died?
We have, Your Honor. We find
There's a lot of Phil Waller in here.
You better not be guilty.
guilty.
Seriously? No, it's too late. They're
I
like 1 second too late.
object!
I was hoping Sherman would run in with the white mask and they'd be like, there's another one, and he's a contortionist!
Yeah. Sherman was the cat burglar.
No, I think we'd be safer if Sherman was in jail. But then Sherman would escape because of the bars.
Yeah, yeah.
Ha ha ha! Reeled in! Get it! Get it! Get it!
Wow, he's gonna cut Dylan's
Oh my
face?
gosh!
He's gonna decapitate Dylan.
Oh, Dylan! It's gonna be like face.
It's his celebratory sacrifice.
And a special thanks
Dylan's gonna become the new mask.
Yeah.
It's gonna pretend to be him.
to this event
I'll show you.
possible.
Rob Buildings as Dylan Taylor, except I'm like a giant old man with Dylan's face.
And everyone's like, well, that must be Dylan. We saw it in a newspaper that it was.
Yeah.
And also on one of those security cams.
Right here.
Oh, Eugene's eating. What? So, that was Shadow of Doubt.
Oh, no. Wow. This is so dramatic. What did they do with the theme song?
This is the dramatic version, which
This is like the Batman version of the theme song. The memorable moments, the sewage water.
Word Incorporated.
Word. Incorporated. 1993.
Hey, so Shadow of a Doubt.
How would you rank
That was a
this?
fast 27 minutes.
It was. How would you rank it? That doesn't feel like 27 minutes.
Yeah. It really didn't feel like there was enough that happened to fill that amount of time. It's like what? It's like Whit got arrested, and then Dylan found this other guy,
And then
and then he
Whit
chased him,
didn't get her.
and then
I don't get why he got indefinitely arrested,
yeah,
and then they had
he wasn't
the
just
trial.
arrested; they put him in prison.
They gave him a number, and it was
He
a
had a
very
prison number.
uncreative number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, at least they could have gone like the Magic School Bus route and given him 24601.
Yeah, that was funny. That creepy British guy, man, he was
Yeah.
creepy.
I was in Scotland Yard, little boy. Now come back to my house out in the
Bring your
isolated fringes
camera.
of town. Dylan.
You know, in
I
his
believe-
all his dad's stories about like how he was a person who stole test answers and like, see, the reason Dylan doesn't know not to go with strangers is because his dad's too busy being like, I was a criminal when I was younger. So Dylan's just like, my dad was a criminal, so other criminals must be safe to be around.
Yeah.
So my dad's safe to be around. And then he almost gets murdered like 60 times, and he's like, I just don't know where I went wrong.
Man, did you think we were going to get backstory on Dylan's dad in this episode?
I was hoping that we would get a more devious villain than a British guy whose proportions don't even match Whit's.
Yeah.
They just did in those
Maybe stick a
specific
pillow in
clips.
his shirt.
Oh, that would work, I guess. Ish.
I wonder whose mansion that was they robbed at the beginning. It was like a huge house with
They
a
had,
diamond
like,
necklace.
The biggest diamond. It had, not only did it have one
That was, like,
giant
the
diamond, like
Kohinoor.
the size of my face, it also had like 6 billion
Yeah,
diamonds
that's like the
around it.
Kohinoor mounted on a necklace. They're like, it's worth $10,000. I'm like, okay. And then someone screamed like they got their throat slashed.
People were making fun of, Doug and Rob Walker were making fun of The Ring in 50 Shades Darker because it was like one giant diamond, like right at the top, and then all around it, it was just like more diamonds in a like just going all the way around it, and it did look really dumb, but this looked dumber than that.
It was an ugly necklace too.
It was.
I assume the second robbery was at a jewelry store or something, because there was like a tray of jewels just sitting
I hope so.
in a thing. That's kind of a weird arrangement if you're not a jeweler.
And then he brought like spray paint. He's like, I'll just spray everything
Yeah,
instead
I'll
of like
just-
using a cloth or something like that.
And I think it said just paint on the can as well. And it's like, people always do that, and it's like, they're assuming that this is a live feed camera and not, a recording where it's like, oh, well, you just turned your face to the camera before spraying on it.
It
Just got
usually
you.
is a recording.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But I guess the
things.
other thing is like, well, if it is recording, it doesn't really matter what you do to the camera now. They have your face anyway, so
Yeah.
what's the point of even destroying
They have
it
your
at this
face
point?
less times.
Yeah, they have less
But
angles.
the thing that other people don't realize is it doesn't necessarily put a coat of paint on that you can't see through. Because
That's true. It's on glass, so
yeah,
if
you
it's-
can still see through it. It's just, it's harder to see through it. But if you, like nowadays, maybe even back then, you can take that and you can run it through something and you can put filters on it to make it brighter so you can still see the person. You did nothing.
here's an idea. Take the camera, rip it off the wall.
Just break it.
Stick that sass,
Portal style.
put it in your pocket.
There wasn't much to say. It wasn't.
That's the mask.
It didn't feel bad like the second one did. It just felt empty.
Yeah,
it felt
like there
nothing.
wasn't a lot there.
I feel like nothing happened. Like
Which is
honestly,
hard because
I-
we need to make jokes.
if we
and
weren't
it's-
talking about it right now, and someone asked me, and they'd be like, "What did you spend the last half an hour doing?" And I'd be like, "I don't remember."
Maybe there's just a bunch of weeping
Like,
angels in
I
there or
am-
something.
Honestly, searching
silence,
my,
I mean.
I'm thinking so hard, trying to remember what just happened, and I can barely remember any of it.
Yeah, it's like,
It went
as I think
one
back about it, I slowly
ear, and it
unlocked
went
little
out
pieces
the other.
of it. Like, I'd forgotten until you brought it up that the dad had this backstory about
I
cheating.
remember the commercial for the last episode better than I remember this episode.
So they went through the sewers like a water slide.
That was weird.
That was weird.
And then Dylan's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna casually walk into this building. If I was the judge, I would be like, you boy covered in sewage, get out.
Now, we were talking, so I may have missed this, but at the beginning they set up the whole thing with the hospital and it's like, oh, we need more money for it. And I'm like, well, clearly they're going to use this as a motive for why he would steal the diamonds.
Why were those diamonds in the backyard? Were they planting them? I don't think they were.
Oh, I guess, yeah, because he did say he purposefully was, like, trying to frame Wit with the glasses and stuff, so he wants to put a few of the diamonds in the backyard to frame Wit.
So did Wit just
It is-
keep the diamonds to pay for that thing so they could have like?
Well, no, that was, like, the last
scene at
night
the end?
before. Wit didn't know they were there. They're buried in the garden, which begs the much more pertinent question.
No, how did we get the money though for the thing?
Oh, I guess they just fundraised the money.
Okay,
Or what paid for
Off
it with his
screen.
billions, who knows.
Wit owns the jail.
The-
You're all my slaves.
The real question is if Bernard Shire Worcestershire III decides like, oh, I'm gonna put diamonds in the backyard and bury them under the begonias.
Under the Barbie.
That's Australia.
I
but okay.
know.
I'm gonna bury them under the loo, and then we're gonna have them in the dirt, and then someone will find them.
Back
Just to
in
be
time
clear-
for tea and crumpet.
To be clear, both of us are capable of doing
We are
much
we,
better
We
British
actually can
accents
do
than
British
this.
accent, believe it or not.
a
We're
number,
not
a number
trying
of
right now.
accents, but
Devon can do a lot of accents. I can't.
this is just funny.
I can only do British. But I have a British roommate, and she said my accent's good. So
The point here is that it's like you were trying to frame him, so you buried these diamonds. Did you expect anyone to find them in any kind of reasonable time frame? What are the chances that while the army was trying to arrest Wit? Because it clearly wasn't.
I think they looked more like park rangers than anything.
Of course, why wouldn't they be investigating house robberies? Because it's not like, oh, it was just a weird police uniform. Because the police captain showed up. He's like, all right, the police are here now. You can go. Who was that?
I don't know. Maybe they were like worked for the security company for the house. House didn't have good security if that guy could have broken in so easily. Even though it did have cameras. Had like one camera, that's it.
What are the chances that while they're there, Eugene just happens to be doing some gardening, doing more Mendelian pea experiments, and he happens to find a bunch of diamonds buried there?
I don't know. Do you think, like, can you imagine in Buried Treasure, like, Jared just digs up a diamond, doesn't say anything, just pockets it, and goes off?
I thought you were gonna say Jared digs up the box, and there's the gun and the newspaper clipping inside and stuff, right? And then the police just happen to walk by at the same moment, and they're like, Jared, you are under arrest for the murder of Dwayne's great-grandfather. Because that's basically what this was.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I love how he was just like, I have a cup with Whit's fingerprints, and I left it at the crime scene.
I like how he broke into Whit's house to steal his cups. He didn't just...
I think he took it from Whit's End.
He didn't, though. That's what I thought.
Wait, did he specify?
He specified he took them from Whit's house. So he broke into Whit's house, which admittedly probably has some decent security on it. I mean,
sure.
Maybe not, because, you know, Monty and Jason and stuff breaking in.
I think it has good security, but only
they know how to
good
disarm
enough that they can break in, and only them.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to keep other people out.
You need to use
but
Whittaker
it's not
DNA
good
to
enough to keep them out, and it's done purposefully.
Yeah.
Like, the only way... It's rigged, so the only way Monty and Jason can enter the house is through the window. So, like, every single time Jason comes home from work, he's like, Dad, can we change that, please? I have cuts all over my body. It's really painful. And he's just like, no, we gotta keep burglars out. I don't want anyone to steal our cups.
He's like, can I go to the doctor? He's like, no, we don't obey doctor's orders in this household. You'll bleed and you'll like it. Oh, Whit.
What would Derek have done? Ripped out his own IV and kept on going. That's what I thought. Yes,
don't you
sir.
remember in season 4, episode 20? Jason's like, of course I remember.
Oh,
what was
man.
I even saying?
Does it matter?
No.
Doesn't matter as much as the Whittaker approves.
I sure hope there was enough material to pull for that one.
I think there was.
I mean, it feels like that every time, except for the first one, and then I find enough, but still, it's like, there's like, what even happened in there?
Nothing. It was empty.
What do you rate this one, Victoria?
I feel
I can't.
like...
This is the one where I saw an article years ago. Someone on an AIOO fan site had written an article of like the top 10 lessons that we can learn. I thought it was the original movie at first, but then I couldn't remember what they were watching it. It was this one. It was an article on like the top 10 lessons that kids can learn from Shadow of a Doubt.
Was one of them
and
like go with strangers?
Yeah, it was like if you meet a stranger in the park, go to their house, let them tie you up and stuff, and all sorts of stuff like that. Like all the good lessons that kids
To be fair,
learn.
he didn't do a very good job tying him up. Dylan could have escaped at any moment.
He
just
did
didn't
escape
feel
at
like
any
it.
moment.
I know.
No one knows how to tie any knots. I'm like, is this even a rope, or is it just like a greased cord that they can? They're like, oh, just fiddle with it like that, and it just slides out. There's no friction to it.
In the Nostalgia Critic review of Babes in Toyland, there's one part where young Drew Barrymore gets tied up, and it looks like just someone like took headphones and just went like that around her. Like it's very.
You mean like what he did to Dylan?
No, it's completely loose. It looks like someone just like threw
like a
rope on her. And then it's just like, and she's just holding it in place, and she's like, I'm trapped. And then he's like, seriously, kid? But, yeah.
It's all psychosomatic, Victoria.
It's a placebo rope.
Yeah.
They think they're actually tied up, then they will be.
Exactly. What do you rate this one?
You rate it
first. Okay.
Yeah, didn't expect that, did you?
I did, actually.
Of
course I expected it. You
0,
always
kind
foist
of.
them onto me.
I kind of want to give it a 0, because I feel like it was nothing, so I should give it nothing back.
Well, you do get out of something what you put into it, and vice versa, so...
Yeah, I feel like 0 is pretty fair.
No.
But I wouldn't say it was
It was-
horrible.
No, and it wasn't worse than...
It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as the last one.
No.
The last one was pretty
Oh,
good.
that was hilarious.
In comparison to everything else.
You
This
better go
one-
check the clock tower. The spirits, they did it all in one night.
The wind force is too much.
It was funny.
Uh,
We're funny sometimes.
so what did we learn from this episode? Literally do anything, including putting your own life at risk just to get back birds.
What do I rate this? Okay, so final thoughts.
I'll give it a 1.5.
The...
Yeah.
I feel like my brain is melting out of my ears right now.
Yep.
What happened in this? I feel like part of my life has been robbed from me. Goodness, it is like there was silence in there. It's
I
like
know,
it's
I
like
told you.
gaps in my memory.
That's why I want to give it a 0, because at least the first one and second one, they were bad, but they were more memorable than this.
What I like is how the team was forced to remove David Harley for portraying bad police officers, and then they do stuff like this anyways. Which is so much worse than anything that David ever did.
It is.
And yes, it is hilarious what you pointed out, that like out of all of the people in Odyssey that you could choose to frame,
Yeah.
you choose the most upstanding citizen who people would have the hardest time believing would be the cat burglar.
Yeah, apparently they believe it right away. So
Apparently,
everyone in
people
this
are
version of
vicious.
Odyssey are very untrustworthy.
Um,
Or untrusting.
untrusting, yeah.
They're probably untrustworthy too, though. They
Apparently,
have crazy Brits wandering through parks, abducting little boys and putting on Halloween masks and stealing diamonds that are unreasonably sized.
it was hilarious what you pointed out about the searching for wit, like the search for Paul Erlanger. That was really funny.
Thank you.
Uh,
And they all look like Wit, but they don't sound like him.
we had these wit sightings. Like, we're bringing these
Predicted
people,
the
they
future.
physically looked like wit, and yet sound nothing like it. It was like, it's a radio show. What's the point? Glad we got a new face model for our artwork. Thanks.
Do you think they were like fans of the TV show and that's why they
Yeah,
came?
that's what it was.
They're like, we were inspired by the 4th episode of that show, Shadow of a Doubt. Very good, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. It's
0 for me. It was nothing. It felt like emptiness. Watching emptiness.
I'm gonna give it 1.5. I mean, it did make me laugh in points.
But that's
With
because
our
of
help.
what we were saying.
Um,
That wasn't of its own accord.
yeah, 1.5 for me. What do I say?
Nothing. There's nothing to say.
Oh, yeah. And you're sticking with 0?
Yeah.
All right.
It's because I got nothing from it.
I really wanted to give something more substantive than this, but
It didn't give us anything substantial. Why should we give it anything substantial? Every episode so far has been better than this. I mean, like, the second one was bad, but at least it made me feel things. This made me feel nothing. And that's it.
confusion. I did feel confusion at multiple points.
I felt confusion, but not as much as I felt about the randomly setting on fire tires and, like, the second one.
Yeah.
The paint and stuff.
Which
At least-
perpetual
At
motion
least
oil.
that one was, like, bad funny. This one was just bad.
There was some bad funny stuff.
There was some, but...
Where did the guy get the mask made? Did he make
I
it
think
himself?
he made them himself.
Okay.
I think he said, like, he used to be part of, like, a troop or something like that.
When?
Oh.
while he was still pretending to also pass to
Back
be a
when
detective.
he was in jolly old England in Scotland Yard.
Yeah, I don't think he was like, oh yes, I used to be a costuming person and also a detective for Scotland Yard. Cheerio, pip pip. What? Sausages and crumpets.
Flying back in slow motion. I love you, Gavin.
Oh my god. No, I don't want to be in relationship goals. I can't let people know I'm dating Meg. But I'm your boyfriend. You can't go on with Ryan. It's probably going to be on another episode anyways.
Oh,
Meg's going to be
man.
on 2 episodes. So, that was that episode. Fun times, as always, with the animated series. I think I pointed this out in the past before, that the people who wrote, directed, and produced it are not people who have ever written, produced, or directed
You
a single episode
point
of
that out
Adventures
every
in
episode.
Odyssey. It's just weird, you know?
It is weird.
It is weird. Lots of shrugging in this episode,
There's nothing
understandably.
left to say now. Turn off the episode.
What are we doing next time, Victoria?
I don't know.
Yes,
I feel
you do.
like everything's lost meaning.
We're doing part 3 for...
Oh. One more name.
Mm-hmm.
Prisoners of Fear.
Correct. Wrap both of those up for our March episode of reviews. And that'll be next time. Until then...
British handshake to close us out.
Until then, thank you for joining us on our side of YouTube. I've been Dan Francis, also known as Lime Listener.
What?
Does rocks float on lava? People like grapes. Some dogs hate grapes. Grapes kill cats. Some people hate grapes, and people
Flying back in
some
slow
people
motion.
hate grape juice. There's so many grape shirts now. Goodbye.
Bye.